Okay folks, we're looking at the Brocock Enigma today. It's a new rifle. It was taken on the range yesterday. It weren't shooting very accurately, but when we checked it, the barrel needed a really good clean. There's a lot of black gunk coming out of it. So today I'm going to partly strip it down, just to see how easy it is to get to the different parts on it. So I'll start by taking the silencer off it. This one is a Logan silencer, 1/2 inch thread, and that's what was on my Webley lightweight. Without the silencer, it's a really big crack on these because it's only a short barrel. Probably about 12-inch barrel. It's my lad's rifle. It's been using a Hawk 3x9 mil-dot HD scope made by Hawk. The barrel's easy enough to get off. Let's see, this is a 2mm grub screws on top. Just undo those. And the barrel slides out. That way you can have a good look down the barrel. It's a nice brass end on it. There's a transfer port hole straight through to the barrel, so if you did want to make the transfer ports any bigger, you'd also have to drill that out as well on the barrel. It's well made, this one. Most of the modern Brococks got the heritage from the Titan Hawk rifles. So their engineer, he moved across to Brocock. This one though is different. This one is a design of Robert Lane, who does all the regulators at the moment. It's a takedown rifle, similar to what the Air Arms takedown rifle is. Let's say this one can be taken down in about 50 seconds once you get to know it. What I'll do first, I'll take the forestock off, and for that there's an Allen bolt nut there, and that will be, that's bigger than a 2. Smaller than a 3. What's this one? Yeah, it's 1.5 mil. So you just loosen that off, and on this one, when it's loose enough, the actual stock slides forward to get it out, like that. So that comes off like that. The actual butt plate and grip they come off while I'm doing that. I suppose it's how quick you can move your, there we go. So that's that off. So we're just left with that now. Really well made. To fill this one up, it's just a Foster fitting on the front. So you attach your hose on that from either your stirrup pump or air tank. Fill it up. I think they recommended about 175 bar when we got this one, although it does say 200 bar max on the actual breech, but maybe they want 75 bars as the sweet spot. This is pre-anti-tamper. I was told the way to get to the internals is the 4 Allen nuts on there, and they are, I think they're probably 1.5. Yeah, they're 1.5 as well, and that will probably get the that back end off of this. Problem is with these, they don't come with any schematic diagrams or anything like that, which is a big help to people that want to take them to part. Also got a plate on the back. There's a few things on YouTube about them, but not a lot. The actual air cylinder, that just unscrews, and looking at it, it's not a very big cylinder. Be lucky if it's much more than between 8 and 10 inches long, but it's really efficient. They say you can get 120 shots from them, so it's really well made if that's the case. But that's a basic strip down with everything off, the barrel and the rifle and everything. Pretty straightforward, and that would all pack into a nice little briefcase size case if you wanted it to. So that's a basic strip down. There's the parts again. The barrel, let's say, is probably about 12 inches long. Now at the moment the rifle is not cocked. Oh, I'll do though. I will go for taking that off. I dare say probably be under pressure. I'll make sure I keep my thumb over it. That's definitely under pressure. See it opening up more. So as soon as these bottom two come out, I think they're going to start flying. Okay. So there's the hammer spring. And there's the hammer. that's under tension for when it actually winds into the rifle, the butt. But that is the actual hammer spring tension. So unless there's an adjustment on the hammer, I would imagine you shim this up if you need to increase the power on it. You could do that just by putting a washer behind that. If it's like the other Brococks, all the adjustments are made on the actual hammer itself. Sliding bolt on that. Ah, the hammer just comes out. Yeah, so based on that, any power adjustments are made by shimming up. You could either put a plastic shim down there into the actual hammer casing, or a washer fitting behind the spring. Either way, do it. So that's your basic strip down if you needed to adjust the power on it. I mean, this particular one, I don't think it needs any adjustment. It seems to be shooting okay. It's not had enough rounds through it yet to really assess it. You would put some Bisley Magnums through it and they would come out abysmal, really. Bearing in mind the 21.4 grains. Everybody says, oh, the heavier the pellet. But it's not. It's all about the efficiency of the pellet. So the day states had better efficiency. The day states was definitely more efficient than the Bisley Magnums, and they were shooting at between 10 and 11.4 foot-pounds, so you can't really complain at that, really. We'll just let it run in, and I'll come back to it if it needs coming back to. But as far as it goes, that's a basic strip down. I'm happy with the hammer spring and the bolt and everything. I'm happy that it's going to be easy enough to adjust it if I need to. Bearing in mind the legal limit is 12 foot-pounds in the UK. So that's it, really, the basic strip down of the Enigma. What I have been doing is polishing up the actual hammer itself. Pretty well made. It's made out of stainless steel anyway, I think, but it's making sure it's nice and polished so it'll slide down here quicker and better. Probably all we need to do. Used a bit of metal polish, water salt. It's well made anyway. So that's the polished bolt. So now I'll put it back together. If I turn that around, that slides in, so that's at the top. When you cock it, it engages with the cocking ball, that's what pulls it back. Hammer spring, and the spring guide. I've got the back plate, and it fits that way, so that fits over the trigger. Right, I'm sure this gets right the way in. That's the actual safety there. That's it. There's a little lug on the top of that, and it also lines up with that slot. See the round mark in there? Bugger me. As I say, it's all under tension. That's it. I've fired it now, so not so much tension. Nothing in the breech. So that, same again. That lug goes to the top. Safety catch on top of that. Like so. Lovely. Right. The one with the nut sticking out goes to the bottom. It is tight. There we go. Try and get this started. I can. Alright. This one, I believe. Let's get this biting in. Same with that one. It's the last one. Okay, that's all back together. Forward. One final thing to remember. So when you've got it all back together, if you try and fire it as it is, it won't fire. It won't fire until you've screwed the stock back in, because there's a metal rod, a sprung metal rod behind the actual knob that screws on, and it pushes against the hammer. When this screws back onto the rifle, it brings the whole part back, and that piece that pushes onto the hammer stops it from cocking all the way back. But once it's screwed on, it will cock back. So you see now, pull it back and forward again, it can't fire because it's not gone far enough back to cock it. But when this has come forward, it will cock. So that's a point to note. So if you put it together and you think, oh, it's not working, it is working, but you need to put the stock back on first. So what we'll do now, we'll just put it back together again. So stop by putting the stock back. I think. Yeah. Now watch. If you cock. So it needs that on. Sliding the stock on, it slides forward. Put the stock screw back in. half of the barrel. Just make sure the top grub screws are loose. Now if you do drill out a transfer port hole bigger, you take the back one out, screw down, making sure your barrel's already taken out of the rifle, because you don't want to drill through the top of the barrel. You'll see the two lugs on the barrel. That's what the grub screws connect to when it screws in. So the barrel just slides on. Tighten the grub screws up. Okay, put the silencer back on. So as you probably heard, it makes quite a big bark without it. Back on with the scope. What you might find when you do put the hammer spring section back on, this bit, you might find it easier to stand it on its end, so you can put your body weight on it, because there's a lot of spring tension there from the hammer spring, and also from the spring in the knob that unscrews the rifle. There's about 3 or 4 springs involved. They're pushing in different directions. Okay, so that's on. Cock it one more time. Not quite with the silencer. That's it, that's the Enigma. Brocock Enigma. I hope you've learnt something. There's not many videos on YouTube about this. But there you go.